Hi everybody, welcome to Friday's yoga practice. Hope you've had a lovely week and enjoyed the blustery day we had today. So as always with practice, listen to your body, only do what feels right for you today, and I hope you enjoy this practice that I've put together for us this evening. So without further ado, let us get moving. Find yourself a little space on the floor, lying down in whatever way you wish. And let's just begin to let go of the busyness and the rushing. Let go of everything that's going on in our life and in the world at the moment. Let go of any hang-ups we might have, any responsibilities we might have. Let's just take 60 minutes out to allow the mind to rest and to become calm, and to really work our bodies, stretching it, easing it out, and just really helping it to be comfortable in your skin. So setting everything aside, let's start to move inward. And we're going to spend a lot of our time today focusing on the base of our spine. It's the source of so much power and pressure and energy and movement. So let's just turn our focus to the base of the spine now. Just noticing it, noticing how it feels against the floor. Noticing as you move your pelvis, how that might change the connection points as you just allow it to move up and down a little bit. And then bringing it to stillness. And let's think about bringing everything to stillness. The feet, the legs, the pelvis, the base of the spine. Completely still. The arms and the trunk, completely still. The eyes with the eyelids closed, looking downwards towards your heart center. Your tongue just tipping off the roof of the mouth. So the only bit of gentle movement you have is your breath. As you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. And let's begin to bring stillness to the mind. Thinking of the mind like a kite flying around in that windy day we have today, going this way and that with thoughts. Let's use our breath for the next hour to control that mind, to bring it to stillness, like that string on a kite. And let's take 5 more breaths here, like this. Just focusing on the breath listening to the sound. And on your next inhale, just bringing up that, bending that right knee and hugging that right leg into the chest. Almost slightly to the side of the chest. Allowing the left leg to come long. And as we're here, let's just circle the right ankle. First in one direction and then in the other. Keeping the shoulders soft, just helping that leg to stay close to the chest. And coming to stillness with the foot, allowing that right leg to stretch out. Let's bring the left leg in. Again, thinking about having it slightly over to the side, slightly over to the left. Holding on to it with both hands and beginning to circle that foot, just waking up the ankles. First one direction and then the other. And letting that foot drift to the floor, bringing the right foot up to meet it. Then let's hug both knees in. Now let's just find stillness here. Letting that left foot drop down to the floor, keeping the knee bent and bringing the right leg across into your figure four or your reclined pigeon, thinking about pushing that right knee away, not with your hand, but just with your leg, pushing the right knee away from your center. One more breath here. And let's take that one over to the other side. Bringing the left leg across the thigh of the right leg, thinking about that left knee moving away from your center. Bringing stillness. And again, allowing that left foot to come to the floor, once again hugging those knees into the chest. And from here, either holding on to the backs of your thighs or bringing your hands in between your two legs, holding on to the outside of your feet into happy baby. And let's just move your legs in whatever way they are suggesting. You might want to crisscross them, or think about the knees coming towards the outside of the body. And then letting them go here, allowing them to drift upwards so they're straight up over your head. Or, well, not over your head, but straight up in the air. With your feet parallel, so facing the ceiling. And from here, just allowing those feet to drift apart from each other. And when you get to your edge here, let's hold this for a breath or two. And then bringing them back together, let's allow the right leg to move downwards towards the earth. Just letting it hover before it reaches the ground. And then bringing it up, let's allow the left leg to do the same now, while the right leg is up in the air, the left leg coming down towards the earth. And bringing it up, switching back over to the right. Noticing your breath here as you lower that leg. Does the breath become more difficult? See, can you allow it to ease? And bringing that right leg up, lowering the left leg down. And raising it up, bending those knees, letting the feet come to the earth, rolling over onto your left side. Have your shins parallel with the long side of the mat and your thighs parallel with the short side of the mat. Palms touching. And we're just going to raise the right hand all the way up and over behind us. And bring it back to meet the left. And raising the right hand over again. And back. And one more time. Raising it up. And bringing it back down. And next time, let's raise it up and let's keep it there with your gaze following that right hand. And then bringing that right hand back to meet the left. Let's take it over to the other side. So again, your shins on the long side, thighs parallel with that short side, both arms out long, palms touching, and raising that left hand, bringing it all the way over. And back. And once again, over, back, over, and back. And next time, bringing it over, let's hold it here. Keeping that gaze on the left hand. And bringing it back to meet the right, coming onto your back once more, hugging those knees into your chest. And from here you have a choice of rolling over onto your side to come up to sitting, or holding on, crossing your legs, holding on to the outside of the feet, rocking a little bit, and coming up to sit. If you have a block or a book, you might want to sit on it. Just crossing those legs, sitting up tall. Let's just roll the shoulders forwards. We've got a nice round spine. And then start to straighten up and open out the shoulders, open out the chest, and bring the hands behind you. And then allowing those hands to drift to the front as we round through the shoulders, through the spine, from the base all the way up to the neck, and opening out the hands, bringing them behind you, opening the chest. One more time, coming around and opening it up. Good. And from here, allowing that right leg to come out in front, crossing the left leg in front of it and drawing that right leg back towards you and the left leg. So we're in this cow face, which if you were here on Wednesday, you will remember. It'll be familiar to you. One knee on top of the other. And let's take the right arm, putting it over between your shoulders and your left hand up to meet it if it can. And as we're sitting here, sitting up tall, keeping those shoulders over the hips. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Alan's just opened a can of Pepsi if you heard that. And 1 more breath. And unraveling here to come out straight. Let's take that over to the other side. So crossing, having one knee directly on top of the other. And this time let's bring the right arm up over our shoulder and sitting up tall. And just notice how that base of your spine feels in this position. So it's really forcing you to keep that base quite still when your legs are in this position. Let's take 1 more breath. And unravel it all the way out, opening out the legs, removing your block if you have it, and coming forward into a squat. So the easiest way with a squat is to have your toes facing outward, knees open, palms together, and think about sinking your tailbone down so that if I show you sideways, you're trying to be as straight in your spine as you can be. You may find this really difficult to get the heels to the ground. A lot of people do, so that's no problem. You can be up on your toes. Let's take 2 more breaths here, remembering as you exhale to lift that pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up, sides of the waist inward, just on the exhale. And 1 more breath. And allowing the hands to come down behind you. Let's just move to sit. Putting the legs out straight, toes pointing straight up to the ceiling. And from here, just sitting still, hands just behind you, at your just behind your hips, keeping those shoulders over the hips, sitting up tall here, thinking as we inhale about finding that space, finding that length in the spine. Noticing, do you have equal weight on both seat bones? And taking 1 more breath here. And then let's raise the arms up, bending the knees a little bit. We're going to reach forward with the arms and with the chest, keeping that spine nice and straight. And thinking about bringing that chest down to meet the thighs. And if you can take this a little bit deeper, you can begin to straighten out the feet. And again, think about as you inhale, lengthening through the spine. As you exhale, taking that fold a little bit deeper until we find that point of stillness. And 1 more breath. Making your way back up to sit straight. Let's once again bend these knees, turn the toes out and move ourselves forward into our squat once again. You can think about pushing your elbows into your knees and your knees into your elbows just to give a little bit more strength to this pose. And remembering on that exhale to engage that core. Finding your stillness within the pose. And then allowing the hands to come to the floor as we begin to raise the hips and walk the feet together. So the toes are touching, the heels are just a little bit apart. And then we can begin to raise the arms and just dangle here. So you can have the legs straight and just dangle to wherever you land. So if you're landing here, that's fine. It doesn't matter where you're landing. Just go with where you end up when you come into a forward fold with your legs almost straight. And you can just begin, if you're holding on to each elbow here, just begin to gently rock yourself backwards and forwards. And then coming to stillness. Let's bend the knees here, sitting back. So lowering the pelvis towards the floor. Let's begin to raise the torso up, bringing those shoulders almost over the hips, and then raising the arms up. And we're going to try and hold this for 3 more breaths, finding ease in your breathing, finding stillness in the pose. And bringing those hands together in prayer, having both elbows at completely opposite points to each other. We're going to just take a turn to the right. So your left elbow is against your right thigh, getting a nice twist, thinking about looking at the wall opposite the long side of your mat. So you've got a nice deep twist with the chest. Two more breaths here. And then coming into a forward fold, bending your knees as much as you need to here to allow the hands to come to the floor. And as you inhale, finding that length in the spine. As you exhale, taking a little bit deeper in your forward fold. And I know some of you have been coming to a lot of the practices, which is fantastic. Just see, can you notice, are you able to go a little bit deeper into your forward fold now? And from here, again, dropping the hips down as we come into our chair pose. Taking 2 more breaths here. And allowing the palms to come together, elbows in a straight line with each other. Right elbow against that left thigh, finding that nice twist. And 1 more breath here. And once again, coming to center into your forward fold. Sitting the hips back down, rising up into your chair, and then coming all the way up to your mountain pose, bringing those hands down by your side, turning the palms outward. as we begin to find space in the chest, in the whole of our front. Making our way to the top of the mat, let's take a couple of sun salutes here, raising the arms up and into your forward fold and halfway lift and forward fold, right leg back, dropping that right knee, open the foot, lifting up into your low lunge. Hands down either side of the foot, stepping back into your plank, taking a round of breath here. And then coming down, knees, feet, chest, rolling through into a cobra and all the way up through your table into your downward dog. And from here, bringing that right leg up to the front in whatever way works for you, through tabletop, by lifting it through, or by stepping it all the way through. And coming into your low lunge on this side, rising up. Hands down either side of the foot, stepping the back foot up to meet the front. Let's come all the way up and let's take it over to the other side. Forward fold and halfway lift. Forward fold, left leg back this time. Into your low lunge. And moving smoothly into your plank. And knees, feet, chest, rolling through into a cobra and pushing up and through tabletop into your downward dog. From here, raising up that left leg, bringing it through whatever way works best for you to come into your low lunge on the other side. Raising those arms up, lifting the gaze. And hands down either side of the foot, stepping it up. And coming all the way up. Good. Let's take it one more time on either side. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, low lunge with the right leg back. Coming up. Stepping back into your plank. Knees, feet, chest. Cobra. And up into your dog. Bringing that right leg forward into your low lunge. And stepping up. Forward fold. And coming all the way up. Good. Let's take it to the other side. Rising up. And forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, left leg back. Open out the foot, rising up into a low lunge. And stepping back into your plank. Knees, feet, chest. Cobra. Through your chair, through your tabletop. Getting my furniture mixed up. Into your downward dog. And stepping through with your left leg to a low lunge on this side. And coming up into your forward fold and all the way up to finish. Good. From here, once again, raising the arms up, let's come forward into a forward fold and a halfway lift. And a forward fold. Let's bring the right leg down and then the left. And when we're on all fours here, we have our hands just a little bit forward. So the wrists are in front of the shoulder for this. We are going to bring the forearms down onto the floor, allow our forehead to come to the floor, and then stretch the arms out. So we're in a really nice puppy dog pose. And we're going to keep it here for 5 breaths. Just feeling that length in the spine from the hips all the way through to the tips of your fingers. One more breath. And then coming on to your forearms, making your way up, and then allowing the hips to sink back towards the heels, opening out the knees nice and wide, putting one fist on top of the other, and come into a nice rest. Last breath here. And coming up onto all fours, pushing back with the hips and up into your downward dog. Let's walk it up to the top of the mat and make your way back up to standing. From here, looking down at your feet, let's have them hip distance apart, toes facing towards the front, putting your hands on your hips. We're going to step this right leg back. And we're going to allow that right knee to come to the floor. And then bringing the hands down either side of that foot, we're going to walk this right knee back as far back as is comfortable for you. So you get a really nice big stretch in that quad. Putting your hands onto your knee for this low lunge here. Hopefully a little bit more exaggerated than what you were doing in your sun salute. Keeping those hips square. And let's raise the arms up here with the gaze. And bringing the hands down either side of that foot, curling the toes of that back foot, lifting the foot up and pushing out through that right ankle, heel. So you're really getting a nice long right leg, still having your left knee over your left ankle. And we're going to hop that right foot in just enough so that we can put our foot flat on the floor. Our right foot flat on the floor. And let's make our way up to our warrior one. So we still have this bend in the left knee, equal weight on both feet, hips nice and square. Just check them. That right hip is going to want to go to the back. See, can you bring it towards the front, bringing your left hip back slightly. Raising the arms up into your warrior one, really feeling this down the back of that right leg and perhaps on the quad of that front leg, keeping the shoulders nice and soft. And then bringing the palms together, elbows out. Let's just take a twist to the left, feeling that stretch in that right leg as you do that revolved side angle. So your hips are still nice and square, keeping that left knee bent. 2 more breaths here. And now let's allow the right hand to come to the earth and lift that left hand up, turning your gaze to meet it. And you can stay like this, or if you'd like to take this triangle a little further, you can begin to straighten that right leg, that left leg a little. And bringing the right hand down. Let's step that right leg up to meet the left, bending those knees as we come all the way up and meet at the top of the mat. Let's take that over to the other side. So bringing our hands onto our hips, keeping those hips square. Let's step that left leg back like on railway tracks, so they stay hip distance apart. Let's bend that left knee down, bringing the hands onto the floor. Let's walk it back to your edge. Still keeping this right knee over the right ankle. Bringing your hands up onto that right leg to start with. Staying up tall, keeping those shoulders over the hips. And then let's raise those arms up. One more breath here. And then bringing the hands down either side of that right foot, lifting the left knee off the floor and pushing out through the heel of that left foot. Feeling that change in where the stretch is moving to on your leg. And then hopping that left foot forward until you can put it flat on the floor and rise up to your warrior one, checking your hips as you come up to keep them square. Notice as you bring that left hip forward, it starts to put a little bit more pressure on that back leg, sending your breath into that back leg. Let's raise the arms up into your full warrior one, raising the gaze with it so we get that little back bend. Keeping the shoulders soft. And on that exhale, remembering to engage the core. And then bringing the palms together, opening the elbows away from each other. Let's take the twist to the right. Keeping those hips level. Taking 2 more breaths here. Finding stillness through the breath. And then allowing that left hand to come to the earth as you raise the right hand up. Your gaze following that right hand. And if you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can begin to bring straightness into that right leg, keeping the hips level. And then bringing that right hand down beside the right leg, stepping the left leg forward. And from here, opening out those arms to come all the way up. And bring the palms to the center. And from here, opening those arms out, reaching the hands up, let's come into a forward fold. And halfway lift. Forward fold, stepping that right leg back and rising up. And from here, hands down either side of that right foot, lifting that left foot, lifting that right knee, pushing out through the right heel. Hopping the right foot forward as we rise up into our warrior one. Bringing the palms together, opening out the elbows and taking a twist to the left. And allowing the right hand to come down, opening up the left. bringing some straightness into that left leg. And then bending the left knee, bringing the left hand down as we bring that right foot up to meet the left. Bending the knees, we're making our way up to the top. Good, opening those arms, let's sweep down. And take a halfway lift. And forward fold, stepping that left leg back, dropping the knee, open the foot. Rising into our low lunge. Hands down either side of the foot, lifting up that left knee, pushing out through the left heel. Hopping that left foot forward and coming all the way up to our warrior one. Bringing the palms together, elbows wide apart, and let's take that twist to the right. And dropping the left hand down, lifting up the right, turning the gaze. And straightening that right leg if you can. And bending that right knee, bringing the right hand down to meet it, stepping the left foot up. Bending those knees, open the arms, coming all the way up to meet in prayer. Good, let's raise those arms up again and sweep forward into a forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, right leg back, dropping the knee, open the foot into your low lunge. Super, dropping those hands down, lift up that right knee, pushing out into the heel for your runner's lunge. Hopping that right foot forward, let's rise up into warrior one. Palms come together, elbows apart as we come into our twist on the left side. And dropping that right hand, lifting up the left, turning the gaze. And bringing some straightness into that left leg. Bending the left leg, bringing the left hand down, step that right foot up to meet the left and come all the way up. Good, let's take it one more time on the other side, reaching up tall and forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold, let's step that left leg back, dropping the knee, coming up into your low lunge. And hands down either side of the foot, lifting the knee into your runner's lunge, pushing out through the heel of that left foot. Hopping the left foot forward as we come up into our warrior one, checking in on our hips here that they're square. Bringing the palms together, elbows apart. Let's take that twist to the right. And allowing the left hand to come to the floor as we lift that right hand up, straightening that right leg. Bending the right leg once again, bring that right hand down, stepping the left foot forward as we come all the way up and hands meet in prayer. And from here, raising those arms up, let's come into a forward fold, and from here, bending the knees, making our way down to sit on the floor with our legs straight out. Sitting up tall, keeping those shoulders over the hips. Toes pointing up towards the ceiling. And bending those knees, let's just come into a forward fold here. And making our way back up. Bending those knees to put the feet on the floor, making our way all the way down. Lifting our right leg up onto our left thigh. And this time let's lift that left leg up off, like left foot up off the floor. And allowing the left foot to come down. Let's just take that over to the other side. So left leg over right, and lifting that right foot up off the floor. And allowing the right foot to come down, and then the left, and hugging those knees into the chest. And allowing the feet to come down to the mat, and just letting those knees fall over to the left. If you have the space, you can straighten those legs out, opening your arms into a T and turning your gaze to the right. And bending those knees, coming back through center to take it over to the other side. And making your way back to being flat on the mat in whatever way you want for your final Shavasana resting pose. I'll just take this opportunity to thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this practice. We're actually having a little bonus live practice on Sunday, this Sunday at 12 o'clock, just for half an hour, because we've had quite a few people do an introductory course, so we said we'd do a live half-hour practice on Sunday at midday. So if you are around, we'd love to have you with us. Have a fabulous weekend, and if you're not with us on Sunday, hopefully you'll be able to drop in to us sometime next week. We'll be live on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I will bid you namaste and invite you to begin to just let go. Allow your body to absorb everything that you've just done with it, for it to become part of you, part of your story. And let's just let go the fingers. Let go the palms of your hands, backs of your hands, your wrists and forearms, elbows and upper arms. The whole of your arms, just let it go. Let go the front of your chest, your shoulder blades, your spine and back of your rib cage, front of your rib cage, belly, small of the back, pelvic area, base of the spine. Just let it all go. Letting go the fronts of your thighs, the backs of your thighs, your knees, shins, calves, ankles, tops of the feet, toes, and soles of the feet. Just letting it all go. Letting go the back of your head, the crown of your head, your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaws, chin, lips, tongue. Just let it all go. And take a moment here of gratitude to yourself for practicing, to your body, to each other, and of course to the frontline workers and everything you have to be grateful for in your life today. And let's turn that inner gaze downwards towards the heart as we really connect to the breath. Noticing the rhythm of the breath as it breathes us. That gentle ebb and flow. And imagining you're walking on a beach, the sun on your back. Notice the sounds, the smells, the feel of the sand on your feet. Find a place to sit here.